Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Ayushi. Good morning,
Good
Krishna.
morning, ma'am.
After a really long time, where were you?
मैम वो मेरा फोन टूट गया था मैम, तो नया मोबाइल आया, मैम उससे कर रहा हूँ.
And you could have told me this in English as well, no, Krishna, that ma'am, my phone was broken. That's why I couldn't join the classes earlier.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Daksh.
Yes, ma'am.
Chalo, good to see you after a long time, Krishna. Do join the class every day now, okay?
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, today we will do, ma'am. Ma'am, today we will do civics one.
No, we have to start a new chapter now. Like we have already started though. Good morning, each and everyone.
Ma'am, understanding media.
Understanding media is done and completed, Krishna. We have started a human environment on Saturday, right? We can begin that again. First, I would like to know that children have you people prepared the debate which I told you. Good morning, Ibad. Tell me quickly, have you prepared that? No? Lakshya, Sushant, Daksh, you people were there in the class. You know what has to be done. Have you done that? Yes, Sushant. Give me an answer. Don't be quiet. Sushant, Daksh, Utkarsh, Siddharth, Lakshya. You people were there in the class, no? You know what has to be done. Speak up, kids. What's wrong? You're supposed to prepare a debate. You're supposed to choose your partners. Have you done that? No. That's very bad. You know that? Today we had it done in class 7B. They did a wonderful job. Okay, there were issues. They were not able to prepare as the way it should be, but still at least they tried. They did it. Look at the people. Fine then. No activities for this class then. Let's begin with a new chapter. Human environment.
Ma'am, you said today is a test.
Oh yeah, today. Thank you so much for reminding me. But since these people have joined today only, it's Krishna and Abad. Wait a minute.
Ma'am, we have made notes earlier of this
You have
chapter.
made notes earlier. I have 2 lectures in your class on Friday, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Let's keep the test on Friday then.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, because then I have 2 lectures, no? So one lecture we can utilize for it and the other lecture for test. Right? In the meantime, these people will also join us and these people will also be aware of the test. Okay. Yeah, so we have to begin with a new chapter, that's human environment, right, children? We have
Yes, ma'am.
we did somewhat, we did a little bit of it, we did the rural settlements, but since 2 of them
Yes, ma'am. We did till rural settlement. We have to start from urban, I think.
yes, but since there are very few children in that class, so let's do a very quick revision sort of, okay, so that they can also be with us, right? They can know what are we doing and where was. So children, we started with a chapter named human environment, right? We already know what environment is. We know the things which we are surrounded with.
Someone, Vinit Kumar has joined.
Beta, that's Vinit sir of school. Okay. Yes. So yeah, like I was telling you, we all know what is environment, right? Right, Krishna, what is environment? What is environment? You will not find it in the book, Krishna. What is environment? Tell me.
Ma'am, may I tell? Ma'am, can I?
No, Sushant will tell us, if not Krishna. Sushant, what's environment?
Ma'am, nothing.
Yes, Sushant?
The things which are surrounded, sorry,
you don't know what is environment?
ma'am, I know the answer, but I can't frame it.
Why? It's very like there's nothing as such difficult. Environment, something.
Can I tell?
No, that's quite. We have read this in class 1 onwards. What is our environment, right? We have been reading this, studying this environment. There used to be
Ma'am, I got it. Ma'am, I got it.
Tell me.
The things that surrounds us is known as environment.
The thing which surrounds us are known as environment, right? Each and everything around us is environment. There are some biotic elements, there are some abiotic elements, right? Even the air, the earth, the buildings, everything, the mug you are having right now in your hand, Sushant, it's also part of our environment, right? Okay, so we know that this environment or this world was not the way it is now. It was different, right? It was all surrounded with trees, deserts, and this and that. There were no buildings, but we humans evolved, right? And with time, we started doing changes in our environment, right? We started shifting or managing in our environment according to our needs, the way we want it to be, right, children? Isn't it? Right, kids? We started
Yes, ma'am.
creating our environment
Yes,
the way we
ma'am.
want to.
Ma'am.
So right now, very big change we can see in the environment of the school, right? The school used to be in a different environment. There used to be proper classes, everything, board, this and that. But now the school have come online, right? How come? This is also change in our environment, no? Because okay, there was something which because of which you couldn't go to school, so bring school to our home,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Didn't we do that? We did that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what
Because of food.
humans are wonderful at doing these things, and that's the difference between human beings and any other organisms, right? Human beings have the power to think and do things, right? For example, all these resources would they have been of any use if there wouldn't have been humans on Earth? Tell me.
No, ma'am.
No, right? Because it's we the humans who have make them usable, who have made use of these resources, right? So we build dwellings for ourselves. What's the meaning of dwellings? It's given here, no? The word dwellings. What do we mean by the word? Tell me. What's the meaning of the word dwellings?
Ma'am, which word?
I have underlined on the screen dwellings.
Ma'am, buildings.
Yes, buildings, right? Then we developed various means of traveling to places and invented devices to send and receive messages, which we have just read in the chapter media. So we say that human environment is formed by human beings and it includes other creations as well. Right, children? That's what human environment is. Now, the very first thing we see in our environment is settlements. What do we mean by settlements?
A place where people can settle by building their houses.
A place where people have settled, they have built houses and other things of their need, right? As we have read in the chapter, previous one of history chapter, we read that there were people who were no, like earlier people used to live in the forest as tribal people, right, children?
And ma'am, in villages also.
First people lived in where they lived in the
Yes,
forest
ma'am.
as tribal.
Forest.
Then when they
Yes,
learned the art of agriculture,
ma'am.
when they learned how to grow crops and all, because of agriculture, they had to stay at one place. Why did they have to stay at one place? Because of agriculture. Who will tell?
For
Siddharth, can you tell us? Siddharth is not here only. Abhishek will tell us it. Abhishek?
Ma'am, please repeat the question.
The question is why, because of agriculture, people need to stay at one place.
Ma'am, place in same place
Because if they're doing agriculture, they have to live at the same place. Why?
because they have to see their land and crops.
Yes, because they have to take care of their crops, right? They have to go to the same place every now and then to take care with the crops. If crop is growing properly or not.
Yes,
They have
ma'am.
to provide manure, fertilizers, water to the crop, right? So that's what they have said that early humans led a nomadic life. What do we mean by nomadic life, children?
The
Ah,
people
Krishna will
travel
tell us.
from one
Krishna,
place to another
do
for
you know the meaning
practicing
of
their
nomadic
different
lifestyle?
occupations.
Krishna? Krishna, can you hear me? Do you know the meaning of nomadic lifestyle?
ma'am, what?
Nomadic lifestyle. Meaning of nomadic lifestyle.
Ma'am, no, ma'am. Ma'am, I don't know.
Ducks
Can I
not
tell?
in- Yes, ducks tell.
From Canada.
Ma'am, may I tell?
Ma'am,
Canada.
When they move from one place to another in the search of food.
for practicing their different occupation.
Absolutely correct, right, Krishna? Nomads are the people who do not stay at one place. Nomads are the people, like, see, you have missed the previous classes, no? That's why you don't know this. Nomads are those people who travel from one place to another, right? Practicing their different occupations, searching for food, which means they do not settle at one place. That is why they are known as nomads, right? Banjara, one of the example of these nomads are Banjara. So nomadic lifestyle, which means, as you can see, it's given here as well in the book. You could have read it from here only. Early humans led a nomadic lifestyle, moving from one place to another in search of food, right? Now, with the beginning of agriculture, they settled down and started leading a sedentary life. Now, what's the difference between nomadic lifestyle and sedentary lifestyle? Tell me.
What?
What's the difference? What do you mean by sedentary lifestyle?
Sedentary lifestyle is that people settle in one place on.
Absolutely correct. In sedentary lifestyle, people start settling up at one place. This is known as sedentary lifestyle. And it was at this time that the first settlement came into being. Okay, and can you tell me where did people settle the first time? Where do we find the first settlements? First settlements are
The
made
beginning of
where?
agriculture.
Where did they settle up? You know, basically near the water, near the
Forest.
near the rivers. People started making settlements near the river areas. Okay, where?
Yes, ma'am.
Near the river areas, right? It was near the river basins where people have made their first settlements, right? So, as you know, like they have stated here, that a settlement is a place where people build their houses and a few other facilities and interact with their environment as well as with each other, right? Okay, children?
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is important. Obviously, there is going to be questions regarding this. There will be direct questions that what do you mean by settlements, what are types of settlements. There are
Ma'am.
going to be questions regarding this, right? So this is actually important, right? So yes,
I mean, the recap is also written.
yes. So what is it? It is a place where people build their houses and a few other facilities and interact with the environment as well as with each other. Now, it is not necessarily that settlement needs to be a big city or a big country only. No, a small temporary cluster of huts can also be a right. A cluster of huts can also be called a settlement.
Like for villages and small towns, kasbas.
It can range from villages or like right. It can range from a small village or small cluster of huts to a big metropolitan city. Cluster of huts means, children, what do we mean by cluster of huts? Group of huts, right? जब से huts इकट्ठा है, group of huts. That's known as cluster. इकट्ठा होना चाहिए. Cluster means group of something. Is it clear, children?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Ibad? Is it clear, Ibad? Siddharth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now, while deciding a place to live in or while deciding a place to settle down, people look for various things such as whether there is favorable or not, right? Then the availability of land and water. Is there sufficient
Climate.
water available, right? Climate came in the first point only. Next, fertility of soil, whether the soil there is fertile or not. Accessibility, whether there are accessibility basically means is there good network of transport, right? Is there easy to access that place? Is it easy to go there, right? Next, presence of minerals and industries. These are the few things which people look for while children, I suggest you to keep underlining the points with me so that when we'll be doing the question answers, it will
Okay, ma'am.
find answers. Okay. Right. So yes, so these are the factors
Yes, ma'am.
on the basis of which people decide whether they have to settle at this place or not, right? Can you tell me why these factors are important?
Ma'am, what?
Why these factors are important? Why do we need to look for these things in order to settle at a place? Why? Can anyone tell?
Ma'am, because if they have to work in one place, so they need to find these factors.
Okay, how come it is like that is what I'm asking you. Why are they looking for only these factors? What role do these factors play in our life?
Ma'am, depends on climate and availability of water and land.
See, first of all, favorable climate is important because neither can we live in way too cold areas, nor we can live in very hot areas, right? That's why people decide
Ma'am,
to
you have given the example in last class,
right.
like the people.
Yes, right. Next is they need to look for availability of land and water. Obviously, if they're going to settle at a place, and they need to have proper land to build their houses. Water is again a very important part of our life, so we need proper source of water as well.
Yes, ma'am.
From that, if people are involved in agriculture, or even if they're not involved in agriculture, then also they look for fertility of soil. Why? Because if there will be fertile soil, then only they'll be able to grow crops, and the ones who are not growing crops, they are also dependent on these people for their food. No, then only they'll be able to get the food for themselves properly. Then again, presence of minerals industries for trade and many other things. For example, this is the basically we can say that this is the reason that which state is the most populated state of the country, most popular state of the country.
Uttar Pradesh.
Yes, Uttar Pradesh is the most populated state of the country. Why is it so? Why?
Ma'am, these all are factors.
Because all these factors are available in plenty in Uttar Pradesh. We know that various rivers flow through this region. We know that this region has a favorable climate. We know that this region has plenty of fertile land, fertile soil. It had land as well. It's just like with the growth of population and the number of people coming to the area, the availability of land has basically reduced. Now we do not have much land left because everybody has settled here, right? Is it clear till here, children? Any doubts?
Yes,
No,
no,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Very good. So let's begin. Now they have told us that there are two types of settlements. How many types of settlements are there?
Rural
Ma'am,
and
two.
urban.
There are two types of division of settlements. One are temporary and the other are permanent. If we talk about, like I told you people earlier, right? Settlements can be grouped into two parts. Right, kids? Can they be?
Yes.
Can they be? What can be the two parts?
Temporary and permanent. Temporary means
Temporary
some
and
basis
permanent.
and permanent is daily base.
Very good. The two types can be temporary. I'm just writing in short, huh? Right? Is it visible to your children?
No, ma'am.
It's not visible. Well,
Yes, ma'am, it is visible. Ma'am, it is visible to
it
me.
might be very light. Huh?
Ma'am, with blue. Yes, ma'am.
I think the color is light. I'll just change it to white.
Ma'am, temporary are for nomadic people.
Yes. Now it is visible.
Ma'am, it is visible
ma'am.
clearly to me.
Krishna,
Yes, ma'am.
is it visible now? Right? So these are two types of settlements. One is temporary and the other is permanent. Is it clear? Right? First we get these two types, right? That's permanent and temporary. Now, this permanent one again gets divided into two parts, right? Temporary refers to the people who settle at a place for temporary time, like not for permanently, but
मैं
on
short
for a short
मैं
period,
short time
right? And then this temporary one, this permanent one is further divided into two more parts.
मैं
Which
long duration
yes, this ruler and rural, okay, and
Urban.
which settlement are we living in, children?
Yes, ma'am.
We are living in rural,
Ma'am, urban, city.
right? Okay, that's why you might have seen there's also a fair which is known as Urban Heart. Have you heard of it, Urban Heart?
No, ma'am.
It is it's conducted in the city, right? In Bareilly only we have Urban Heart, which has many stalls and all. It's just kind of a fair, mela jise hum kehte hain. So their children get like people
Unarat.
get many handmade things and all, right? Because it is conducted in cities, that's why it is known as Urban Heart, right? So this is what, like the temporary settlements are the ones where most nomadic people stay for a short period of time. However, most settlements are permanent, where people live for long durations, right? We are living in temporary or permanent settlement, children?
Permanent.
We are living in permanent settlements, right? Okay. Now, yeah. Now, generally speaking, of settlements can be classified into two types again. That's urban and rural. Clear, kids? Any doubts in there?
no ma'am
No. Now then, let's talk about rural settlements quickly. So, children, a rural settlement, as we know, rural refers for what, children? Villages, right?
Villages, small towns, and kasbas.
Very good. Rural settlements refers to the rural areas, refers to villages, small towns, or kasbas. Well, although even the small towns do not come in the rural settlements, villages and kasbas mostly, right? So a rural settlement is one in which the majority of the people are involved in activities such as agriculture, fishing, mining, and forestry. What are the people involved in rural settlement, bache? As we know that in villages, people are either occupied in agriculture, in fishing, mining, or forestry. Are we aware
forestry
of four terms? We know the meaning of all these four terms: fishing,
Yes, ma'am.
mining, and all, right? Daksh, Utkarsh, Krishna, everybody keep your videos on. Right? So that is why the population is generally small and the population density is low. The meaning of population density is given here, right?
The ratio of a population given to a unit of area.
Population density. Krishna, what's the meaning of population density? What is population density, beta?
ma'am the ratio of population given to the unit of area
Given per unit of area, yani which means in per unit of area, how much of the population is living, how many people are living in per unit of area, that's known as population density, right?
okay ma'am okay, ma'am.
Okay, and why is population usually low? Because nowadays most of the people are involved in tertiary sector. Can you tell me these activities like agriculture, fishing, mining, forestry, these activities come under which sector? Primary, tertiary, secondary? Have you read about the sectors?
Ma'am, primary.
Have you read about these sectors? Primary sector, secondary sector?
In wastewater management science.
Yes, right. So yes, this factor like agriculture, fishing, mining, forestry, they comes under the primary sector, right? What are they? Which sectors do they come under?
Ma'am, primary.
Right.
How many
And
questions
since
can come?
lots of people are involved in it, earlier many of them were, but basically because of this, population is very low, and the population is low as well. In many villages, handicrafts based on local raw materials are manufactured, and some trade is also practiced. What do we mean by handicraft, children?
Ma'am, हाथ से बनी चीज.
Yes, things which were made up of handicrafts. Like I told you about the urban heart right now, right, children?
Ma'am, like
I told
ma'am,
you about
food.
the urban heart right now. Okay. So if you get, I'll let you know if it will be like whenever the urban heart will be in place in Bareilly. So you can visit it once. This urban with your family. The urban heart, basically people are selling stuff like handicraft, right?
Ma'am.
By their hands.
Ma'am, Ma'am, mask also.
Mask also, what me? I did not get you the tip.
Made by handicraft.
Masks, I think not most of the masks people are
No,
making
ma'am.
industries,
No,
right?
ma'am.
And that's not
It is made.
handicraft refers to जो specific कला होती है, जो चीजें हाथ से की जाती हैं. Some specific, you can say, ना, some specific
Ma'am, drawing.
thing, some
Right,
specific stitching, some specific sort of kadhai, right? Some specific sort of pottery. All these things comes under handicrafts. Okay. Masks come under the cottage industry thing, right? Okay. So rural settlements will be दो further divisions होते हैं, compact settlements or dispersed settlements. Now we can see here this rural settlements also
Yes,
have two
ma'am.
further divisions, right? Right, kids? What are the
Yes,
two
ma'am.
Compact
settlements?
houses.
Right, children? So the further two divisions of
Yeah, ma'am.
kind of rural
Yes, ma'am.
settlements are compact and dispersed settlement, right? Right, children? Now, what are these? As the name suggests, in compact settlements, the houses are built close together. How are they built? They are built close together. They are mostly found in river valleys and fertile plains. Although it is the segment which we are in, it's not a rural settlement, but isn't it kind of compact? Are we living in kind of compact settlement?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, because here also houses are built quite close together, right? And they are mostly found in river valleys and fertile plains where the land is flat and the accessibility is good. Why accessibility is good in flat land, children? Can you tell me?
Ma'am, in plains it is good.
Why? बताइए children, hurry up.
Ma'am, because in plain there is everything.
Whatever. It's सबसे with a very easy accessibility का मतलब क्या होता है बेटा? To reach that place, right? It is easy to reach that place. It is easy to reach places.
Yes, ma'am.
Because
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Plains it is.
agriculture.
agriculture,
Agriculture.
Siddharth. For reaching a place, what do we need? Tell me quickly.
Ma'am,
children. Yes, you're getting.
transport.
Yeah, transport.
Means of
It's very obvious. It's very easy to build roads and railway lines in plains as compared to plateaus, mountains, or deserts. Isn't it?
Ma'am, dispersed settlement means hills and compact means plains.
No. You're not getting it. You're going wrong, Dash. They are saying that compact settlements, where do we find compact settlements? We find compact settlements in plains, okay, and valleys, right, where the land is flat. It's easy to reach there. While in dispersed settlements, the dispersed settlements are found in hills, deserts, right? If you have seen in hills, do you see that the houses close to each other in hills?
No, ma'am.
No. Roadways is always good in plains, Daksh, right? Okay. So dispersed settlements are made up of scattered houses. Scattered matlab, what's the meaning of scattered, children? Tell me quickly.
Ma'am, which word?
Scattered.
ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I know in Hindi.
Tell me in Hindi.
Ma'am,
Yes, sir. Yes. Tell me.
ma'am means ma'am chitra hua.
Bikhra hua. Scattered means bikhra hua. Children, can you see I have drawn these two circles here? Can you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, for example, just think these stars that I'm drawing here. These stars are houses. Okay. So one, I'm drawing these stars like this. Okay. Okay. Now
Ma'am,
here I have
do
drawn the
this.
stars like this. Now can you tell me which one is compact segment, which one is dispersed?
Ma'am, I know.
This, let me name them as well. Okay. For example, this is figure A.
Ma'am,
This is B.
ma'am, the first figure is ma'am compact and the second one is ma'am dispersed.
Well done, Krishna. Proud of you. Yes. As he states very clearly, now you can see the A figure has compact settlement, whereas the B figure has dispersed settlement, right? Because
Yes,
in
ma'am.
Ma'am.
B figure, we can see that houses are far away from each other, whereas in A figure, the houses are quite
Ma'am,
close to
ma'am,
each other.
close.
Ma'am, but I have seen in hints some houses are close.
That is only in one area. Okay, that's also in hills where they have made easier. But even though they are close, even though they're not as close as we find in the plains,
Plains.
right? There also you find like in hills, how is it like? There's one area where you find a lot of houses, then a lot of greenery,
Yeah.
then you'll find another area, then greenery, then another area. Isn't it like that, beta? Yeah, right, Daksh?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what they meant by dispersed settlements. Like even the houses are built, they're also like few houses are built together. That's different. But then again, the rest are built at different places, are quite different. Whereas it's not the same in cities, in plains. We find everywhere houses, buildings, something else, etc., right? Okay. So as we can see, they are saying that they like dispersed scattered settlements are mostly found in hilly or forested areas, large farmlands, and in areas where accessibility is poor. Accessibility means reaching which areas is difficult thing. Got it, children? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we have to talk about the urban settlements. Now, what do we mean by urban settlements? So, children, if we
Ma'am,
have to
city
talk-
settlement.
yes, urban refers to the cities, right? Right, kids? Urban refers to the city.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, this
City.
urban settlement has different types, various types you can find. An urban settlement is one in which majority of the people are involved in which activities? Agricultural activities.
Trade, commerce, administration, industry, extra, and
Right,
banking.
right, children. So it is one in which majority of the people are involved in non-agricultural activities. Which activities?
Non-agriculture.
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 For example, they are either involved in industries, trade, commerce, administration, etc., where they do not need to look for fertile land or something like that, right? And such areas usually has large population, and the population density also here is high. Like if we look in the city,
Hi.
in the cities as well, the population density is way too high. A lot of the number of people are living in the same piece
Yes,
of
ma'am.
now, an urban settlement has various types, like we have read of three of them in the history chapter.
Administrative towns, temple towns, and port towns.
Yeah, three of them we have already read about: administrative, temple, and port towns. But here they have given us many. They have given us.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. Hanji.
Well, Lucknow can be the example of administrative towns.
Lucknow can be an example of that. Administrative towns, defense towns, cultural towns. Okay. Then they have industrial towns.
My industry.
Towns, mining towns, port
Ma'am,
towns, resort towns, and residential towns. So Bareilly is which kind of town, children?
Ma'am, residential.
ma'am, residential. Ma'am, residential.
Very good.
Ma'am, but
Bareilly,
I think administrative also.
no, Bareilly is not an administrative town because it's not the center of something, right? It's not the center of state, right? So it is a
Gorakhpur can be
residential town.
administrative.
Now let's talk about administrative towns. First of all, we have already read about the administrative towns in the history chapter.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what we call integration of subjects, right? What we have read in one subject can be used in the other subject as well. So administrative town includes not only capital cities of countries, but also all the center of provinces, states, districts, and other administrative divisions, right? For
Division.
example, New Delhi,
Ma'am, New Delhi.
and Gandhinagar. Yes, Krishna?
Ma'am, in exam, if they come, we can write Lucknow.
Yes. What, beta?
In exam, if it come that example, we can write Lucknow also.
You can write Lucknow, yes. You can write Delhi as well. They have given Delhi. You can write, they have basically talked about not only the capital of countries, but also capital of states. Provinces mean states only, right? Some, like in our country, we have adopted the division of country in different states. Some countries have different
Yes, ma'am.
provinces, right? So yes, states, district, Bareilly is what Bareilly is a district, right?
District.
Right. So yes, you can give the names of the capitals of states as well because they are the administrative center for that state. Okay. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
Okay. For example, New Delhi, Washington DC, etc. Next is defense towns. Right. Now they are the centers of military activity like the army headquarters, naval dockyards, and air bases. For example,
Ma'am, for example, Jabalpur.
Jabalpur, Mao in Madhya Pradesh, Kochi, Barakpur, and so on. Can we call Kashmir as well? It's a
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, understood?
It's very easy.
Anji,
Yes, ma'am.
very easy this is. Next, we have cultural towns. They are the centers of culture,
Haridwar.
education, art, and religion. Rishikesh, Haridwar. Okay,
Roorkee.
example, Oxford. Okay, and then they have Shanti, an educational town.
Educational.
Hollywood,
Hollywood.
Varanasi, Makkah.
Hollywood.
Okay, it's related to entertainment. That must be a town in some place. Right, then Varanasi, Mumbai can be a cultural town.
Ma'am, Indore also.
Indore as well, right? Makkah and Vatican City, etc. Right, Varanasi is important because of
Ma'am, Mathura also.
Mathura is a pilgrimage. Yeah, cultural towns. Yeah, you can say no, cultural towns are very much similar to temple towns.
Temple.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Next, we have industrial towns. Now, there
Ma'am,
are
Agra and Uttar Pradesh. Ma'am, Agra and Uttar Pradesh.
Agra is not an industrial town, no.
Ma'am, it is not.
Industrial towns
cultural
have
town
industries
also.
in them as a main.
Ma'am, Kanpur is an industrial town.
Kanpur can
Yes,
be,
ma'am.
and you know that can be Gurgaon, isn't
Okay,
it?
ma'am.
Gurgaon.
Yes, ma'am.
So they have some kind of
Ma'am, Ghaziabad.
function. For example, Jamshedpur, Durgapur, Birmingham, Detroit, and apna this we call Gurgaon, right? These are important.
Yes, ma'am.
Gurgaon has a number of industries.
Ma'am, Saharanpur.
Rudrapur also is an industrial town,
Ma'am,
right?
Saharanpur in Uttar Pradesh.
Have you heard Rudrapur?
Yes, ma'am, in
Yes, ma'am.
Uttarakhand.
And Rudrapur, there is a proper area known as Sitkul. And that area just have industries from line, like n number of industries they have.
Ma'am, it is not there, I think.
They are. There are many industries.
I mean, where?
Ma'am,
There is a place.
ma'am, they have, ma'am.
Ask him and say there are many industries. Britannia industries there. They are nut making industry. Many industries are there.
Ma'am, Delhi also can be example of.
Delhi
industrial
cannot
town.
be an example. Yes, Gurgaon can be an example because Gurgaon has industry, not Delhi.
Ma'am, Delhi also.
Ma'am, they have,
There
ma'am.
are so many
Ma'am, they have,
factories.
ma'am, 20 out of towns.
There are many as such. Okay. Next, I think the meeting is about to end. We'll begin from the market towns tomorrow in tomorrow's class. I hope you have understood it.
Ma'am, ma'am, market answer Kolkata.
Yes, chalo, we'll talk about that. But yes,
Mumbai.
for example of that. Okay, children, I think you have
Ma'am,
understood
ma'am,
it.
Delhi.
Is it all clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Wait a minute. Let's
Bye, ma'am.
I think then we will do it. Right. Okay, so yes, market town are the collective and distribution centers of various goods like Bardhaman in West Bengal, Norwich in England. And yes, he's right. Kolkata is a major market.
Mumbai.
Ma'am,